Oh, the drama. Here we go again.
What are you talking about, Ben? Are you talking about the most recent, most breaking financial news?
Of course, but this time it's not the market crash or the debt ceiling. It's no longer the real estate bubble or the mortgage crisis. And the news has moved way past the Euro sovereign debt crisis, the dot-com bubble, and of course the Wall Street bailout. Plus...
you mean the fiscal cliff. The newest financial issue that will completely dominate the news and scare everyone for at least the next 30 days. Well, at least until the next major news comes out.
Right, that's right, the fiscal cliff. And if you're wondering what the fiscal cliff is and how it could affect real estate and mortgage rates, well then, you, my friends, are in the right spot. I'm Ben Brashen.
I'm Leopold, and welcome back to Mortgage Resource TV.
Now, before we get started on how the fiscal cliff may affect mortgage rates and the real estate market, we want to explain what it is in a nutshell.
And at the end of this video, we'll share with you how you can win a 4-hour wine tasting limo excursion with Ben and I. But first, we want to talk about the fiscal cliff.
Now, we're not too far removed from the election, and of course the economy was a really big part of that. The fiscal cliff has essentially been building for years as all of our elected officials continue to kick the can down the road of fiscal responsibility.
The media has dubbed it as the fiscal cliff. This cliff, which is basically a series of automatic tax increases.
That's right, 90% of people are going to see tax increases. But on the other side of the coin, there will be spending cuts set to be enacted on December 31st. And both of these combined could drive the economy back into a recession, according to a new Congressional Budget Office report.
So really what you're saying is all about the money, hence fiscal.
Yep, and there's a metaphorical cliff. As the notorious B.I.G. says, mo money, mo problems, because we're all running out of bling.
Let's dig in before you start talking about everyone in D.C. getting tipsy.
Ooh, good one, Ryan. Okay, let's put this in a nutshell. In 2011, 63% of government spending was in fact already spent by past promises, including Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, farm subsidies, and interest on the federal debt.
So now you're also talking about healthcare, which is ballooning to 25% of our national budget if you include Medicare and Medicaid.
And couple that with $435 billion in government employee salaries.
And the fact that our defense budget is bigger than the next 17 countries combined, including China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, France, Great Britain, Russia, India, Germany, Italy, Australia, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, Israel, Brazil, Turkey, Spain, and Canada.
And all of this costs money, and lots of it.
Well, Ben, here's really the dilemma. According to the Washington Post, we could go over that fiscal cliff, which would abruptly reduce government borrowing and spending.
Which sounds great for a balanced budget, except that a lightning fast raise in taxes and then cuts in spending could hurt the economy that's of course already fragile and then send us down into another recession.
Okay, Ben, let's do a quick recap. The fiscal cliff really means that we're gonna have higher taxes and less spending, which is really code for elected officials are going to have to create a new budget in order to keep the economy afloat, or else again we're going to risk another recession.
Okay, let's play this out in a couple different ways. What does going over the cliff mean for real estate and mortgages versus the government maybe doing their job and figuring out a short or long-term solution to taxes and spending?
So it really comes down to taxes, Ben. We see the number one threat to all the gains that the real estate market has made in the last year is the expiration of the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act of 2007, which is set to expire as the ball drops in Times Square on New Year's Eve. And this really applies to short sales on primary mortgages.
Now, on the surface, this makes strategic short sales less appealing because sellers would have to pay taxes on the debt that was forgiven, which may raise the foreclosure rate.
So the issue here is if you dig a little bit deeper to the tax code, they could still perform a short sale without tax penalties if they actually prove insolvency. So really, this would hurt the strategic short sellers who are financially capable of keeping their home, but actually choose to let it go.
Yeah, ultimately it's a no-brainer for Congress to extend the Debt Relief Act, and reports show the odds at about 60-40 in favor of an extension.
Also on the other side of the cliff is a drop in consumer confidence, which would lead to less households purchasing homes. That's not the end of the story, Ben.
That's right. You see, when consumer confidence drops, money goes into mortgage-backed securities out of the stock market, which in turn lowers interest rates.
So really, the real question is, would rates go lower to the point that people would continue to buy houses because they could continue to be more affordable?
Now here in Seattle, we actually see this as what could be a good thing for the local real estate market because, well, here we have a pretty stable international economy. If rates drop and our local economy can hold up, the real estate in our area will continue to be desirable as companies like Amazon, Facebook, Google, and Microsoft continue to hire and create highly paid employees with housing needs.
But there's one more piece of hair on this deal, and that's the mortgage interest rate deduction. Deduction lets homeowners reduce their taxable income by the amount of interest paid on their mortgage. This can be principal residence or even a second home.
Now we let the number crunchers at Wharton Business School do the math because we know them all there. And for those making less than $40,000 a year, the average tax savings in the mortgage interest deduction is about $100. But in that bracket, less than 1/4 of homeowners actually itemize deduction, so most don't get anything.
For those earning up to $250,000, the average savings based on average mortgage amounts will be about $1,200 to $2,600 a year. For those earning more than $250,000, the average deduction will be about $5,400 a year, Ben.
All right, so let's recap again. The mortgage and housing piece for everyone before we show them how to win that limo and wine trip with us.
So basically, the fiscal cliff could lower interest rates due to lower consumer confidence. However, low rates may not give buyers everything they want due to the expiring mortgage interest rate deduction.
Right, and here in Seattle, we think housing demand created by a strong local economy, coupled with low rates and, as you probably know, a general lack of inventory, would outweigh the loss of the mortgage introduction and short sales turning into foreclosures.
But remember, as we said at the beginning, the fiscal cliff is probably just the year's financial crisis that will go down in history with the other 2 or 3 crises we seem to see every year.
Wow! I mean, if you made it this far, you're probably wondering how you can jump in a limo and drink some wine. I know I am.
All you have to do is comment below and we'll be picking multiple winners to join us on the wine tour.
So don't forget to share this with people you think could benefit from this. I'm Ben Brashen.
I'm Ryan Leopold. We'll catch you next time on Mortgage Resource TV. Just high enough so they don't see my jeans, please. Read the thing.
That's cool.
I'm trying to make a conversation. The fact that... Yeah, man, I was at it. We're good. Sorry. I'm not good at slowing down. I just try so hard. Can't hang with that kind of reading. Just try. Just try. You don't read. You listen to audiobooks. I read too. Are you kidding me? You read fantasy football. I read stuff all the time.